think everybody should be constantly able to recreate themselves from scratch. It's like you build up some kind of a weight you carry on with you through your life, but essentially we should try to always not have any weight at all.
Yeah.
Societies and individuals.
Live in your skin.
Kinda, yeah. You don't need all the
clutter.
Exactly.
Americans are infamous for their needing stuff. I need all this stuff.
Oh, that's not just Americans. That's in Europe too. Maybe just not extreme.
Maybe the Western lifestyle
Western
is to love stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff makes me more.
Yeah, we are our stuff, right? Our cool shit. I mean, really, all you really have to do is like do a calculation what the Earth can produce, divide it through 6 billion people, and that's the energy you can consume. That's the resources you consume, and not more. And we have to find a lifestyle that can achieve that. That's all. And as long as we're not doing that, we're stealing from other people who don't have nothing.
Well, and you can't even just divide it by 6 billion, because that's not even accounting for all the rest of the life that has to live here.
Yeah, of course.
Humans are not the only species on the Earth. And I know
They're
you
not?
know that. I know you know that, but it astounds me time and time again how many people don't even think about where their air comes from or where their food comes from. Or where it comes from the supermarket. Meat looks like that. No, meat looks like an animal because it is an animal.
Yeah.
And if the only way you can get meat is to make animals miserable, then you should eat meat.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why
I buy bio meat for years now.
Yeah, I buy like
happy pigs, happy cows.
Yeah, I buy a farmer's market, grass-fed
Exactly.
beef, and yeah,
direct from the farmer.
It's all that I have the stomach for.
Yeah,
literally.
And it tastes better. You immediately notice the difference in the taste. So obviously there's something wrong with the others.
Yeah. Well, first of all, cows don't even eat corn. They can't digest it. The U.S. has this huge surplus of corn. Corn is what we can grow. We grow it all day and all night. And what they do with it is everything. They make sugar out of it. They make this and that. And plastics are starting to be made out of corn. And they feed it to the cows, but cows can't digest it. It makes them, it literally makes them sick.
Yeah.
That's why they need all the antibiotics. And that's why their cow manure, which was at one point the most wonderful fertilizer you could get, is now toxic. So we've really gummed up the works with how we deal with bioresources.
Yeah.
Or other living beings, as I like to call them.
Yeah. That kind of reminds me of how mad cow disease, well, at least they say mad cow disease probably somehow was created because they're
feeding cows to each other.
Yeah, they take over the leftovers, they granulate it and put it into...
Because the cows need protein.
Yeah, they mix it into...
But really the cows just need grass. That's what they eat. That's what they're evolved to eat.
Yeah.
But we don't have enough grass to feed all the cows, so instead of accepting the reality of the situation, we've skewed it to the point where it's like you're putting together a jigsaw puzzle and the pieces don't fit, so you get out your scissors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you make it fit, even though it, you know what it just.
We're forcing nature to do what we want in the sense of productivity.
I think that's lamentable. Very sad.
You know, it's like a banana today has 75% less magnesium than 1985.
Wow, in just that short amount of time?
Yeah, because we're just overdoing it with the ground, the minerals. You know, we're not restoring the ground as we should.
I heard that bananas are going to be extinct in a few years because they don't have seeds anymore.
I didn't know that, but it all kind of fits into the scheme.
That's adorable how you say sheen.
Scheme? Scheme? Is it scheme?
It might be sheen somewhere.
Scheme, yeah. Schema. Yeah.
Schema. Fits into the schema.
It fits into the schema.
I would like to learn German.
Do it.
I had a German tape. That's how I learned to say, wo ist die Goethestraße?
Wo ist die Goethestraße?
Entschuldigung, bitte.
Goethestraße is on our Monopoly board, I think.
Yeah, you told me that. It's in place of Boardwalk or something. Or Park Place.
I think it's instead of Park Place. I'm not sure though. I'd really have to look now.
Because I bet Park Place does not mean jack shit to Germans.
Yeah, exactly. They're just. It's supposed to be like a rich place, so they put a different other rich place that we know. I think it's from Munich or something.
Munich.
I'm not sure. I haven't played Monopoly in like.
Germany. How do Germans do American accents? What does it sound like when Germans make fun of Americans?
I don't know.
Because I heard that when French people make fun of Americans, it sounds like this.
I think in a German movie where Americans are teased, they are always chewing gum and making bubbles. That's one thing that's kind of a cliche.
Americans?
Yeah, Americans.
We love our bubble gum.
Yeah. I guess that's one thing Germans do.
You know, in high school, I used to not be able to take a test unless I had chewing gum. Because I got very neurotic around test time. And so if I just gave my mouth something to do, I would chew the gum, I could focus somehow better. I don't know if that's true, but it worked with the teachers. It worked. They were like, Momo.
Momo?
Do not let me catch that on the car. Did you ever read Adam Smith?
What?
Adam Smith, the economist, about if England has a really hard time growing grapes.
Keynes and Smith, yeah, I had to do an essay once on this.
Oh, sure.
But it's a long time ago. The two worlds between Keynes and Smith, right? It's like they opposited each other.
Yeah, I think.
I'm not sure what the first name from Keynes was. What was it? It's like two economical theories in opposition. But yeah, just continue. Carry on.
What are you saying? If England raises magnificent sheep, but has a really hard time growing grapes, well then why don't you have England make the wool and France make the wine and trade?
Yeah.
Everybody wins.
Yeah.
It's the law of do what you're best at,
yeah.
and somehow the invisible hand, which I think is like a central and spiritual thing that was way beyond his time.
Yeah.
Because think about it, nobody has to tell a stem cell what it is. It knows. And I think if people really just followed what they're good at, we would know, and it would work better.
Yeah.
In general, I'm not saying everybody would get there, whatever, but.
They're cool shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But.
Sorry.
Wow.
Okay, now I'm happy that you laughed about that too, because I thought it was just my European perception. It was like that movie. What was it called? Was Johnny Depp and the Chocolate Factory or something?
Oh, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It was these big glasses they have. It just reminded me of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's too bad you guys couldn't see that.
It's pretty good.
Where were we? I forgot where we were.
I was telling you that I think that people should just do what they're best at and move on.
Yeah.
Like, if the cotton is not going to be as good as in the same part of land, you should go with whatever is next.
Mm-hmm.
People shouldn't hold on so desperately to things that aren't making them as happy as the new stuff could.
Mm-hmm.
That's
yeah, I agree. Everybody has their mission, every individual, and it should be found. I guess that's what you do when you grow up, and then you just live it.
Mm-hmm.
And we shouldn't be forced into something that is just made to sustain a system that's going to collapse anyway.
I think that's very well said.
Oh, thank you. Find your mission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And live it. And let it change, because people change. We're liquid. We're literally liquid. We're whatever percent water.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
That means we change.
I'm pretty wobbly.
Watery.
Wobble. I read like in the Science magazine a couple weeks ago that the sun actually wobbles as if it were. They did measurements and make a video out of it, and the sun kind of wobbles as if it were filled like what are they called? Water balls. You control people water balls.
Oh, water balls.
It's how it behaves. Wobble.